Hi guys, so for today's video I was going to go ahead and start using my Crafter's Companion Hello Summer Auto Ship paper collection, I guess is what they're calling auto ship, that just came in. But then I remembered, well, I don't think I've gotten to the springtime one yet, so I try to hold off on these auto ships to see if maybe HSN might release it so you can grab it, but I haven't seen it there, so I'm just going to go for it. Maybe Crafter's Companion has it on their site. I haven't shopped their site in, I don't know, a couple years, so I don't know, but you know, sometimes these things are exclusive, but when they say that, they end up bringing it to their own site later anyway. So yeah, so I'll link whatever is available in the description box. Those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you ever purchase items to those links. So funny, I was like, oh, I'll just start working with this summer one. I'm like, oh, I should probably do the spring one. I'm like, did I get the spring one? So I went and looked at my own videos. I'm like, yeah. And then I looked over, it's right there. I'm like, oh, there it is. It arrived in January, guys. So I put it to the side and it was literally just next to me with some other like anagriffin boxes and things. So I just grabbed it. And then when I opened it too, I was like, well, at first I wasn't sure if I had made a video. So I went to look and then I was like, oh yeah, I guess I did. It just looks so pristine still that I was like, huh, I didn't even open it, but no, I did. So we're just going to get right to it. I mean, I'm not going to go through the whole box again. If I can recall, I'll link the video. But basically, we're just going to try these guys out. Oh, see? Okay, this one. I didn't mean to toss those like that, but yeah, so this time around it came with metal charms and there was only like 6 or 8 of them, and this the last time it was like wood veneers and there was a ton of them. I think the first time I had wood veneers and metal charms. I don't know, but that's what I have there. I want to use this guy because I don't think I've used an edge like this. I think I used the one where you have to put 2 sides on here to finish it off. I think I used that in a previous video. I don't recall using this. Oh, maybe I did in the autumn one, huh? That's okay. I'm thinking I'll try to use this again anyway. Oh, well, then it's kind of a bummer, because what if I make it like the autumn one? I should go look at my video and make sure it's something different. I like to do different things. Weird in this collection that they give you matte layers for square cards, but they don't give you square card bases, and then they give you like this little guy. They give you 4x6 card bases. That's interesting. Maybe today's card will be a little more basic. I was thinking about using the acetate. Huh. Let me go look and see what I did in the fall. I don't want to make another card that's like so similar. Yeah, so we have gilding flakes here. So what was in this month's? That's funny. It has glitter paste, huh? Well, this one has the gilding flakes, the glue, and the applicator. That one has like a paste, the new one. And it has glitter. So I feel like this box actually has more value in it for me, but you know. Okay, we have acetate. I wanted to use that, so let me go and see what I did in the fall and not make a card that's exactly the same, and I'll be right back. It just looks, so yeah, that's what I did last time for the winter, excuse me, the fall one. I used the 4x6 card base and I put the little edge in here. So I want to think about using it in a different way today. So let me think about what I want to do. I'll just bring out those items and we'll start working. I brought these things out because I thought, oh, well, maybe we'll make like a box. They made it difficult to use because of that curve. You know, if this is here, well, some of this peach is still going to show more there than there, and I don't know. I'll keep thinking about it. To get my creative juices going, I'm just going to do this really quickly, though. I'm going to grab one of the tags, and then I just realized in the new box there's a stencil. This one doesn't have a stencil, so they played it up differently, which is nice, right? Instead of always being the same, I suppose. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. I wanted to use these. Haven't really used these guys. I'm assuming they're all the same. Yeah, and they give you tons of them. So basically, you take this little guy. They are very, like, held on by the smallest little kiss cut in the world there. So, you know, I'm just going to pop these guys out. Being careful with this one. Oh my gosh. I can pull down. There we go. And then we have a little leaf. And then you have this shape. And I'm assuming this piece just goes right over it. And I'm pushing up, guys. If you push back, see how it tears this little white piece? If I had pushed that backwards, it would rip it off the front. You know? So push up towards you that way. If it happens to damage, it'll damage the back of your paper instead of this top part, you know? So I push them up like this. And basically, you're supposed to put this little guy together like a little flower. They are white on the opposite side, so I just want to grab this. And I don't know... Oh, come on. this other, sorry, that one just layers over the center like that. It's the same color as this in the background, so it kind of blends away. And then also, do you want this leaf here? Do you want the flower there and the leaf over here? Kind of interesting the way they created this. It's not very dainty. It's a little bulky even. Like I would want the leaf to be like down here, but then you have that guy. So maybe you're supposed to put another flower. I have no idea. So I do like it better in the other direction, but oh well, what are you gonna do? I guess I'm gonna glue this on here. I don't know. Let's see how this looks. That's weird though, because in the, well, maybe it's not as weird as you think. I don't know. No, that's really odd. Okay, let's go ahead and put the leaf on here. It's kind of odd. And then I'll pop the skillet guy on here. Obviously, we don't have to glue it to the stem. You can just glue the stem down and then do what you want. Put that little guy over there. And then we have this little bow. You can tie the little bow on there or put the bow wherever you want. Again, it's the same color as this, so it's kind of, I don't know. Alright, we're just going to glue all this down in just a second. Let's just put the little bow on there. And then, you know, yeah, spring in my steps, sending sunshine and smiles with love. Welcome spring. Life is better in the garden. How about with love, since it's like a tag? So if you're going to stick it to a gift or something, or a little flower pot, that'd be cute. So I am just going to go for it. You don't have to do that. You can definitely put that on a stamp positioner. So maybe like in here somewhere. Get that nice and juicy. Oh. And just make sure that touches really nicely. There you go, not too bad. And then this little guy, let's make it a little more fun. So let me put some of these things away, clean up a little bit, and I'll be right back. It just seemed too plain, and again, these are the same color, so like my little flower just fades back in there. Same thing with this bow. So what I'm going to do is take those to the side, and I'm going to use my airbrush just to add a little something. Now, I want to talk about this airbrush because I saw some of the comments. You know, you guys saw my original video when I first tried it out. Obviously, I had to get a hang of it. The instructions say, you know, just put the marker and go. And I'm talking about the Die Impress airbrush, which has gone back up in price, guys. So if you got it for $17.95, great. It's back at $36.95. But, you know, I used it and it made bubbles, and then one of the comments on the item says that, you know, so she's just trying to make it work, but it's like, I don't know, people don't see, you know, the videos or look it up, or I don't know, but they had a lot of views, but you know, not everyone sees everything. So, and really, I would hope people would look up videos for things like that or troubleshooting. But anyway, so I still have my little guys in here. I keep them right next to me. Usually this is in here, but I just charged it up just in case. It wasn't dead. I just charged it because it's been a while since I got it. But, I mean, it was still sounding really great. But I'm going to take this and maybe add a little of the same pink or black or one of the darker colors. I don't know if that pink's going to show up. Maybe I should do... I'm trying to think. Just like a darker pink. This one. So I will talk about it again. So in every video, even in that video, my initial video, I showed how to better do it. So what I do now is I open it up, and then I think one of the comments, the person says she pushed all the way down and still, you know, it's doing whatever it's doing. I don't know if it has to be pushed all the way down. I do know that it has to be pushed until it starts working. So what I do is I hold the button, right, and start pushing this in. I'm just pushing it in from the back. And just keep pushing until color comes out. And when the color starts going, I'm doing this really slowly, but there it goes. And I'm good. There's the color, and I'm good. You know, so if you have any issues with it, please do something like that. I'm going to stay kind of high up, even though I am going to kind of concentrate it here. And just something like that. And like literally, that's all I wanted. Just a little something. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to put it away. before I really put it away, I'm going to just see, I pressed that, some color came out. Just wipe it off just so that you're ready for the next one. And also, if you end up having a lot of color kind of muddling down in here, or like staining inside, I don't know if you can see down the barrel, just get a little Q-tip or something, wipe down in there to get rid of any ink that might stay behind. But for the most part, I haven't really had to do that, and it's been fine. But that's another reason I tested over here first. Get it going. Maybe there was black in there from before, and you'll see like black speckle also come out. Just keep doing it until the speckle is the color you want. And that's all I've done. So it's really easy to use. Hopefully that helps you guys out. I only saw those 2 comments, and you know, I can't comment on the video because I didn't purchase it. I can comment on the refills because I did purchase that. I got myself another set. That's why there's 2 in there. And I can say, you know, that it works great. But on the actual item, I cannot comment because I didn't actually purchase it. So there you go. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry a second, and then we'll finish up. Okay guys, so we still have our tag. I just put some dimensionals behind the leaf and the flower, and then down here I'll put a little blue. And you can definitely speckle like your bow or whatever it is you want to do. I'm just going to pop that guy in there, and since it's a tag, it can kind of hang out the side also. That'd be cute. I'm going to hold that down. And you can also put that on there, maybe give it a little zhuzh. They're nice and thick, I will say, these guys. I will hold that down. I don't think this one came with rhinestones. I don't remember seeing them in there. So, you know, if you want to dress that up a little bit more, put like a little pearl, little rhinestone in the center of your bow, but there's an idea. All right, let me grab a card base still and see what I can come up with that one. I don't know that I'm going to stick to thinking about using the acetate and that edge piece. It just, that curve in it, I don't like that. If it was straight, that would be easier to work with. But anyway, I'll be right back. To the side. I still don't know what I want to do. So, actually, I was sitting here and I'm like, maybe this with this. And I brought out some oval dies to make like an aperture, but the oval is like right at the edge of this size. So we have to make our own card base, which is fine, but I thought, oh, this is a perfect time to pull out the layout collection because I don't know what I want to do. So maybe I'll get some inspo from one of these guys. So again, let's talk about how this kind of thing works. I'm going to release this. The new ones, right? The one that just released is back here. Yeah. So this is the first one, and again, I didn't put everything on these magnetic sheets like I'm supposed to. I'm just too afraid things will fall off, but they shouldn't. But you know, I still can't. But I can go, oh, look at this. This has a curved thing. Interesting. But we still have to cover it. That's my part of that curve. It's just so weird. But we could do 2 of them, kind of something like this. Honestly, I didn't even think it'd be that fast to find it. On the edge there. This one has it going on the 2 of them on the side and make it a pocket. That might be doable. Let me look at this thing again. I wasn't planning on still using this. I was just going to do something else. Interesting. So if I use this, it would be something like... It wouldn't really mimic this. It'd be a little bit different. It'd still be very straight on the sides, though. Huh. I mean, a lot of these are very similar to something that you would use that with. The only thing is you have to cover these up because the edges aren't quite... Well, let's do something like this. I'm not promising anything, but there should be, if there... Oh, this is the other thing. Are there only 1 of each of these guys? That would be a pink one and a white one, and I wouldn't do that. There should be... nope, there's only 1 of each. Okay. Well, that adds to the dilemma, doesn't it? I guess we could do 1 of each. Let me see if I can get something like this going. I guess. We're using, let me see, cut a 5x7. Okay, we need a 6-inch square card front. So, I will start by doing that. Let me grab what I think, a card base, a 6-inch card base, and then I'll go from there. I was like, should I make a 6-inch square card base? But I had this pack. I'm like, oh, well, they're 7x7. I'll just cut it down. But I found some old Crafter's Companion ones that I have here, and they are 6-inch square. So, we have that. All right. And I know these are 6 inches tall because when I was going to use them the 4x6, they went all the way to the top. So I don't know if I'm gonna do the matte layers the way they're asking, but possibly. I mean, I'll have to cut a little bit off of these guys, which I guess I could do. It's not the biggest deal. We're going to layer it onto a 5.875 square of black card. Unfortunately, these guys do come with square card bases, but they're like 5 3/4, I think. 5 3/4 and 5.5 or something like that. The two different layers. So it's slightly smaller than what they're asking for, which is kind of a bummer. But you know what? Let's go for it. You're going to cover this up like almost completely. That's the other thing. So let me cut a piece of black cardstock from my own stash. It doesn't have to be black, but I like the way that pops, so I will go ahead and do that. This is so funny. This happens to be some kind of weird card base, so I'm going to switch this out. I don't even know what this does. It's probably some kind of, I don't know. It probably came with a card kit that was particular to this, but I'll go ahead and trim down the tonic card, this 7-inch one to a 6-inch square, and then I'll do a black matte layer that's 5 7/8 square. That's what they're basically saying, 5 7/8 square. So just took this, cut an inch off both sides, you know what I'm saying. And this, I just kept the whole card together. This is some heavyweight cardstock, and I didn't even like open it up and do that. I just put it down, cut it off, and it went through real nicely. So I'm going to glue this one down, 5 7/8 of an inch. I hope that's what they mean by 5.875, which that sounds about right. Oh, and then we need a piece of pattern paper that's going to go down the center. That's 5 3/4. Oh, okay, that's funny. So yeah, that's 5 7/8, and then the next one's going to be 5 3/4, so that you can still see a little bit of that black edge. So even though you use decimals, just know that that means 5 7/8, and then this is 5 3/4 by 3. So we're going to use the white and the pink. Oh, this one's so pretty. Just a little bit of that kind of peeks out. Let's go with this one. Why not? I'm easy. First one. Okay, 3 inches. Now our card is going to be different because we have to cover up those areas, so we'll see what we cover those with, and it might not even, we'll see, by 5 3/4. And then you're supposed to come in with your curves. Of course, I only have one of each color, and then whatever. So we're just kind of starting off with some inspo from this, and hopefully this will work out nicely. Okay, so let's glue this guy down. And then I guess I'm supposed to trim down those other pieces. But again, you don't have to. Like, if you don't want to trim this guy down, you know, or even the amount they're asking you to trim it down, just, you know, make your numbers work for you. So you have that guy. They want like a little bit of a black edge showing, so that's why they ask you to make this one a little bit smaller. Yeah, I'll just do that there. So basically you're going to want to center this, and top and bottom and right in the middle. Now this is where it's going to get a little tricky. So I'm going to take this off again, pulling up towards me in case anything happens there. We have this beautiful piece. And one's going to come in one way right here, and then the other one. They're going to be really close together because you saw that. Again, I followed the numbers on the thing, and probably I didn't have to do that because mine are going to be really close together, but that might be okay. Okay, otherwise make your paper wider and bring this out a little bit more. But that's okay. What we're going to do is bring this in just as close as we need to for it to cover. And then you need to make a choice here, and I'll probably bring them both at the same time to these layer. I want these to be exactly the same. Hold on. We're going to make these 5 3/4, and right now they're 6. So you can take a little bit off the top, a little bit off the bottom, or just some off of one side. But if I'm doing it to one side, I'm going to do it to the other because see how perfectly it ends. So let's take this up here. A little scary, but that's okay. And we want it to be 5 3/4, right? We only have one chance to do this. So I'm doing it quickly too because that piece is so small at the edge. If you take your time, it might drag it. See how it got kind of messed up? And I don't want to mess up this side. And it took that little edge off. That's fine. And then I'm going to put it at 5 3/4 as well as I can. Trying to keep it straight. A little bit further up. There we go. And it took off that bottom leaf on both sides. Okay, now let's see about this. It's hard for me to tell which side is the right side or the wrong side. I don't really know that there is one. I would say this should go down, and this one. And I'm just gluing it straight down. My neighbor's playing with his little like round bike kind of thing. Belongs to his kids, I'm sure, but I think he's just trying it out. Okay, so I'm gonna put this right on the edge there, right up to there, and I'll do the same thing on the white side. Just put the glue on behind here and then some here. We'll pop it on there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we have that. Now we need to cover these areas. You know, for me, I would go with like a solid color, but the only solid colors we have are pink and white, and it's a pink that's not the same as this corally pink, which isn't my favorite, but at the same time, if we do more pattern paper, is that a little loud? I don't know. If I'm gonna do this, I might as well have just put the whole thing the same, right? Oh my gosh, this is hard. I don't know, guys. I'm at a loss at the moment. And then the matte layers are like way too short. And then this one, obviously I would have to cut it down. Where's the bigger one I had to begin with? These are 5 3/4. Maybe we're gonna go for it, and hopefully things will just pull together. So from the very edge to like where this is curving, it's like 1 1/2. So let's do 1 3/8. I'm gonna cut strips that are 1 3/8. Maybe run it through an embossing folder so it won't be so plain. I don't even know where I was. I'm having a hard time with this one. And you know, I went to cut my strips and I went to run them through an embossing folder, but then I realized that honestly this side isn't as deep, and you can probably see that as this side. So I don't know. I like the way that looks. It's very cute, but it doesn't quite fit. So I'm like, you know what? I think we're just going to cover this whole thing, which is a real bummer. I wanted to keep that round nature of that, but I just don't like it. So if I cover from, I'm just measuring from the black to here, the very edge there, but then we're going to remove, you know, 1/8 of an inch or something, or 1/16, I don't know, we'll see. So if that's like let's say 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut this one. It's already 5 3/4. I'm going to cut a strip that's 2 1/4. And also, I think when I ran it through my machine, it kind of scrunches the paper up a little bit. So then the matte layer isn't quite what I wanted anymore. So I don't know that I'm going to emboss it again, even though I like the look of that. So then this is going to be like right up to here. Right? And then we need a piece on the other side that's going to mirror. I don't know, guys. This one's a tough one for me today. I don't know why. Yeah, like 2 1/8. So let's do 2 1/16. I know, that's very particular, but that's what it is. So 2 1/16. And keep it nice and straight. Okay. So we started off with inspo from that, you know, layout collection, but we're doing our own thing now at this point. Yeah, I think that's honestly a better way, and maybe I'm going to make it like this so that this is, it's going to be the kind that stands up sideways. That way it's not as noticeable. I don't know. Okay. So I'm just going to glue this down. Oh, wait, hold on. Well, let me put this down, and then I'll talk about this in a second here. I was just thinking, what if we then put a matte layer on top of that? But that's still like a lot of paper, no? I don't know. And that actually helps me cover up a lot of boo-boo over here. It was kind of not exactly the same. I'll glue this one down also, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so you know what I think I'm going to do for this part, and we're just going to be layering and layering. So I have the 5 3/4 in the white, but I do want, obviously, to matte layer in here. So if you measure this guy, it is 2 1/4, right? So what I think I'm going to do is cut a matte layer that is 1/8 of an inch smaller. So 2 1/8 by 5 5/8. Is that what? Let's do this part first. Actually, yeah, because if this is 5 3/4 and I want to take 1/8 away, so 5 5/8. Okay, so let's just cut this down to 5 5/8 before I do anything else. 5 1/2, 5 5/8. That's just taking the smallest bit off, and then the other direction, 2 1/8, right? 2 1/4, and then the other one is 2 1/16, which is kind of an annoying number, but that's what it was, you know. So if the other one is 2 1/16, I'm going to take 1/8 off, so I need it to be, let's put it on here, 2 1/16, and I need to take away 16th, which make it 2, and then another one, so 1 and it's just a 16th from 2 inches. Okay, sorry. It's as best as I can do to give you that number. Again, we're just going for it, guys. I don't know. It's a little something. That actually looks really pretty just by itself, but I am going to run it through the embossing folder, and I'll be right back. Just using this embossing folder from Die and Press. Works really well. Cute. I think this is like a 4x6 size folder. Maybe it's for a mini slimline. That's what they were gearing for. Yeah, so I'm just going to glue those down, and I will be right back. Okay, guys, there is lots going on in this card, and it feels quite heavy, but it's very flat because it's just a lot of layers. Okay, so we're just going to finish it up with, I suppose, the same kind of thing they have going here, which would be like the layers. So, oh my gosh, I'm getting tongue-tied. So the way they did this is they used the dies from like the original layout set. So the one you got if you did the Taste Special. So I am going to basically do that. So let me grab those guys, and then I'm probably just going to put the sentiment or something in the very center. So I'll be right back. So I brought this one to show you. They do have the oval, which would be nice for the springs in there, but it's not the same kind of oval, guys. But they do have some other shapes. I mean, you can always swap it out. That's the whole thing with these like recipe cards or layout things. Yeah, you have this, but it's just an element. So like, you know, maybe a square, you know, scallop square or whatever, and those kind of elements. It's gonna work. It's just the proportions is what you're looking at really in those kind of recipe cards. But anyway, let's see. I don't know that I want a ton of layers at this point. This is where we're gonna draw the line, guys. So I was thinking about doing like a pattern paper here, you know, and I don't even know if I'm gonna put it right in the center. I was thinking about putting it off to the side. Just I have a lot going on here. So, and it's covering up tons of everything that we did, I know. So maybe a pattern paper, and then that guy, happy birthday, you are the spring in my step, sending sunshine and smiles. That's cute. That one's a little more playful. I think I like that for this. So it has pearlescent paper. If you have like archival ink or something, or maybe heat set it, you can definitely stamp on that. It's not the easiest thing to do. I wish they had put some of this coral paper in here, just like as paper, because I would bring that color back. But I probably have something in my stash that's similar, so I'm going to go and pick something out. And then this one can be cut from some of the pattern paper also. So I don't know if I want to use the same paper in the background, because yeah, it'll fall back too much. Trying to see if there's anything in here that'll stand out more. I mean, these are very similar colors, aren't they? Let me pick a pattern paper. I don't know which one. I'll just cut this guy from it, okay? I'll be right back. Go ahead and glue these together off camera, but I want to talk a little bit about the Die and Press glue, because I did have a lot of questions about it. I've done videos on this, guys. Whenever they brought it out, I've done videos whenever it's been something you know, Die and Press did refills or something like that, and we talk a little bit about it. It is a wet glue as far as that it is wet glue, right? So you have that. Whenever I use any wet glue, doesn't matter if it's this one or any other one, I'm not putting a ton because it can warp your paper, especially if you're using like a paper that has like gold or like a silver top, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the back of that kind of paper is more porous and then the top is like plasticky. So if you put a ton, it's going to be noticeable. So even with something like this, I put some on there and I kind of spread it around a little bit. I mean, that's not very much at all, and that's the regular tip. I don't know if you can see that. It does give you some dry time, so like let's say I placed it, I'm like, oh, that's not quite right. Even like a few seconds later, you can still kind of come in and move it. If you're happy with where it is, then there it is. I don't have a lot of problems with warping, so again, it just depends on your hand and how much you put, I guess. I just wanted to address that because I have had people asking. I'm going to pop this up, so I'm going to use some dimensionals at this point, but I didn't want to use that for a little learning moment. Any wet glue, don't put a ton. Don't put a ton. I would say the better wet glue that I know of that does that the least is my Nuvo Deluxe. I know a lot of people love Art Glitter and some other ones. I felt like the Barely Art, one of those two, again, one of mine, I think it came in, something was wrong with it. Because, oh, actually I kind of like the way it looks in the middle. I was going to put it over here though. I mean, that's cute, right? I don't know. I don't know now. I'll probably still put it to the side. So it just depends, you know, where you live, humidity, all these things that can affect glues, and it will affect your glues, because, I mean, it just happens. But I was thinking, oh, I'll finish this off with, like, some little ribbon or something. Okay, this kit doesn't have ribbon. It doesn't have rhinestones. It has glitter flakes and a little bit of gilding flakes, sorry, and a little bit of glitter. So I'm like, okay, am I going to pull that out from my stash again? I probably will, some rhinestones, because I think that's cute. It needs a little something more, even though there is a ton going on. So we'll look at that right now. Part of the reason I want to cover this area too is because I cut that pink layer a little bit crooked, that pink layer. And I don't know, I feel like if I cover it up a little bit, it won't be as noticeable. So again, it can be straight, it can be sideways, you know, whatever kind of thing you like things to be like that, go for it. I usually like that too, but I think today I'm going to put this kind of more in a straight way. And I guess that's probably good. I'm going to turn that over to give it a squish. And that is our card. It stands up like this because I changed the orientation as I was going through it. That's another thing you can do with these recipe cards. You know, it's meant to be like this, but it could be like this. It could be however you want, you know. Just play around with that. But the whole point of those layout things is to give you some ideas, right? To get some things going. Because I really needed some ideas today. I did not know what to do. And actually this came out really cute. There's a lot going on. But I think that's adorable for this card. And again, I feel like I need to add a couple little stones here, so, you know, I'm just going to grab some from my stash. Oh, of course, pink ones, because, you know, I love pink. Oh, that's the other thing. I went in my stash to look for coral paper, and now you know I have coral, but it's just like a slightly different coral. And then I didn't want it to be another pink that's not this pink, but it's not this pink either. So I was like, you know what? Let me just pull another color out, and sage looked cute. I came across it in my paper stash, and I was like, you know what? That's what I'll do. So that's why I went with sage. It's a whole different color. It has nothing to do with anything that I matte layered with, but it is definitely in these, you know, in the project. So again, do we want really big guys? This is a bigger card, so maybe you can take bigger rhinestones, huh? So let's do that. Alright guys, so we did a few fun things. I totally forgot that we had to start off with a tag, and then we went from there. So we have a couple little projects. Definitely trying to pull this together. You know, you have to be pretty open-minded and get that going, but I love the way it came together, so there it is. Alright guys, a couple different projects from that kit. Oh, I said maybe I'd put a little rhinestone on this one, and I'll probably look for a smaller one. Oh, do I not have my small pink ones? Do you guys do this? Do you just shove them back in here like I did? Because I do it all the time. Anyway, I'll find a small, here they are, pink rhinestone. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to put these all away too. And that finished that guy off. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Let me know if you've used your collection, what you've made with it, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.